Okay, today's date is 14th January 2014. This is Trivia Fine Surgery, and I'm going to conduct your speaking test. First of all, to help you get settled down, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself. Can you first tell me your full official name?
My full official name is Faiza Soheli. It is also.
Right. What name do you want to call me?
I would like you to call me Faiza.
Okay, Ms. Faiza. Are you a student or you're doing a job?
I have currently finished my A-levels and I'm doing an internship at Houseman Care, and I will go to university following February.
Right. Okay, thank you. Now I'd like to ask you some questions about the language. When did you first start learning English?
As far as I can remember, English was part of our curriculum in school. So I think I started learning English right when I started studying, that is in playgroup. That is my first stage of learning.
Okay.
That is my first memory of speaking in English.
Okay. So, what do you enjoy about learning the language?
Language is a very beautiful thing. It is the way how we communicate, and knowing just one language does not give us the freedom to communicate with everyone. So most of all, what I absolutely love about learning a language is the ability to talk to everyone in the world.
Right.
Because everyone has a different language. And a language sounds very beautiful, whatever language it is. And my brother always says that everyone who has a language has a different beauty in it.
Okay.
So that is what I love about languages.
Right. Apart from class, what are useful ways to practice a language that you are learning?
What I think is, apart from classes, there are various other ways of learning a language. But I think most helpful way is reading a different newspaper of every different language. That way we can learn a lot of things and we can practice the language that we are learning.
Right. So how do you plan to use your English in the future?
The classes that I'm going to do will be conducted in English, so that will be very helpful for me. And also I love writing, and I hope that in the future I can go into journalism, so that is how I wish to use my English in the future.
Okay, that's nice. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to give you a card. On the card you will find a topic and you will also find some guiding questions.
Okay.
Based on that you have to prepare a talk for 1 or 2 minutes and you will have 1 minute time to take notes. Remember, you have to talk for 1 or 2 minutes, so don't worry if I stop you in the middle. Here is your topic, here is a piece of paper, and here is your pen. You may take note now. Okay, would you like to start now?
Yes, I would. I'm not a very big fan of watching many movies because I think that it is very time consuming, but I do enjoy watching them sometimes, especially when I'm with friends. There's this one Hindi movie that I enjoyed very much, which is called Barfi, and the director of this movie is Anurag Basu. I watched it with my friend last spring after it came out. The movie won many awards, and I'm not a very big fan of Hindi movies, but I decided to give it a try. And it was so amazing that I cannot express it in words. It showed that love has absolutely no bounds. That love can occur between any two people, and if they're meant to be, they will be together. In the movie, there was one autistic girl, and there was a boy who could not speak and could not hear. And we can imagine that love between these two people is impractical and not possible, but the movie shows how these two people meet, how they have many difficulties like any other love story, and how they come together at the end. What I really loved about this movie is the great acting skills that the two actors show, who are Priyanka Chopra and Ranbir Kapoor. Like, I cannot imagine how an actor can say no words in the entire movie but still show such amazing acting skills and win so many awards. So that is what I absolutely loved about the movie, that all the actors showed such great professionalism in the movie that it was brilliant. And I I keep watching it again and again, though it's a very long movie, because I believe it's totally worth it. Because it is absolutely one of the best movies I've ever seen.
Okay. Among many characters in this movie, which one appealed you most?
Definitely Ranbir Kapoor, because he says absolutely no words during the movie, none at all, other than expressing his name, which even that is very difficult for him, and yet he's one of the best actors in Bollywood I've ever seen.
Apart from Bollywood, did you find any other interesting movie similar to this one, like Barfi, in other film industry?
No, as I said before, I do not watch many films except when I know that it's really good. So I don't think that any other film industries have come up with such a great idea.
Thank you very much. Now we will proceed on to Q&A discussion. Okay. Which do you think is more enjoyable, watching films in the cinema or watching TV programs?
And like I said before, I'm not a very big fan of movies, so I think definitely TV programs are more fun because you can watch it uninterrupted. In the cinema, there are many interruptions, there is an intermission, and as I said, I don't like wasting time, so TV programs are definitely my choice.
They're short and you can use time. Alright, do you think that cinema films should have an educational value?
Most definitely, because even though they are a form of entertainment, they should have a moral, like all other stories. Every story, even if it is a very short one or a long one, has a moral at the end, even if it's not obvious. So in a movie, ultimately, there will be something that we learn from the movie. If it's not of any value, I think it's not worth watching. So they should have an educational value.
Okay, is it important for governments to support filmmaking in their countries?
But I think that governments should see things like defense and stuff like that, but movies and stuff should be handled privately. Governments should get access to things that otherwise would not be sought out by the private film industries, but governments should not interfere with film production. That should be handled privately.
Okay, that means you think that there should be some freedom from making
Yes, there should be a lot of freedom.
Right. In what ways do you think that entertainment media may develop in the future?
In many different countries, filmmaking is actually not very developed. For example, in Bangladesh, because there are not many sponsors and the schedule and budget is it's very tight and not very open, like in other countries. So definitely there is a lot of scope for improvement in the filmmaking industry. Definitely the government needs to help this is one sector in which I think the government should help out, because film is one way of portraying to the world how many different things there are. And also, if they have an educational value, it will teach people a lot of things. So especially in a country like Bangladesh, where cinemas are not developed and filmmaking is not developed, and almost all the movies have the same storyline and baseline.
Right.
So definitely there is a lot of scope for improvement. So in the future, I believe there will be many improvements in developing countries, since everything is developing. So filmmaking will develop. But in foreign countries, I don't think there will be much development because everything is already very advanced and great.
Thank you very much. Your test is over.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
ওরে মাস্টার কাজ করে দিবেন
দেখি
এডিট করেছে